Alright, hello everyone. We are now playing Mountain Blade Warband. It is a medieval RPG game, and it is quite a favorite of mine. Now, we are going to go through the character creation menu. Now, what we are going to do is something a bit special. I am going to ask you, dear viewers, what our character shall be. Now, let us begin. Now, select your character's gender. Okay, so, are we a dude or a girl? Alright, we're going male. Alright, you were born years ago in a land far away. Your father was an impoverished noble, a traveling merchant, a veteran warrior, a hunter, a steppe nomad, or a thief. Alright, so what are we going to be? We going to be a noble, a merchant, warrior, hunter, nomad, or thief? Just waiting for you guys' decision. Okay, we're going to go veteran warrior. As a child, your family scrabbled out a meager living from your father's wages as a guardsman to the local lord. It was not an easy existence. You were too poor to get much of an education. You learned mainly how to defend yourself on the streets, with or without a weapon in hand. You started to learn about the world almost as soon as you could walk and talk. You spent your early life as a page at a nobleman's court, a craftsman's apprentice, a shop assistant, a street urchin, or a stepchild. Now I'm gonna let you guys decide the next one. Hello, got a new viewer. We're doing something special, dear viewer. We are creating. Oh, thank you, Cheese Thief 2, for following. Anyways, we are going to make a. We are doing Mountain Blade Warband today. Now, what we are doing is something a bit special. We are doing the character creation menu, and we're having the viewers decide our character. A page has better charisma because he's learned how to work with nobility, and a craftsman has a better engineering skill because he's learned to build stuff. Alright, yeah. Let's do the page. Charisma will help build an army. As a boy growing out of childhood, you were sent to live in the court of one of the nobles of the land. There your first lessons were in humility, as you waited upon the lords and ladies of the household, but from their chess games, their gossip, even the poetry of great deeds and courtly love, you quickly began to learn about the adult world of conflict and competition. You also learned from the rough games of other children, who battered at each other with sticks in imitation of their elders' swords. Then, as a young adult, life changed as it always does. You became a squire, a troubadour, a university student, a goods peddler, a smith, or a game poacher. Okay, so a squire is someone who, it's like on the path to becoming a knight. When you're a kid, you become a squire, and you learn to take care of a knight's equipment, feed his horse, take care of the horse, and learn how to fight with the knight. Now, a troubadour is I think it's kind of like a bard. Let me look it up real quick. Yeah, troubadour is a poet. So I would have a higher charisma skill and persuasion if I chose troubadour. I could be a university student, and I'll have some very good intelligence. Intelligence is necessary for learning new things, so I'll be able to learn I'll be able to pick up new traits quicker. Yes, but that's a good one, Cheese Thief. University student spent 3 years eating ramen. Then again, back then, ramen would have been considered a great meal, considering how well people starved to death for fun. Actually, no, not for fun, but still did it anyway. We could be a goods peddler. We will have a higher trade skill, so we will have a lower deduction on how much we sell stuff for. We can be a smith. Our engineering and I think strength skill will increase if we choose smith. Or we can become a game poacher. So, in the long run, engineering is a very important skill to have, but in the short term, it doesn't really do much. Alright, so we are now smith. Though the distinction felt sudden to you, somewhere along the way you had to become a man, and the whole world seemed to change around you. You pursued a career as a smith, crafting items of function and beauty out of simple metal. As time wore on you, you became a master of your trade, and fine work started to fetch fine prices. With food in your belly and logs on your fire, you could take pride in your work and growing your growing reputation. But soon, everything changed, and you decided to strike out on your own as an adventurer. What made you take this decision was personal revenge, the loss of a loved one, wanderlust, being forced out of your home, or lust for money and power. So I don't think this affects our character much other than the roleplay factor. Like, did someone wrong us and we want revenge, or did someone we love die? Do we just want to see the world for what it is, what's beyond that mountain? Or did we get kicked out of a home? Did we get exiled? Or do we simply want money and power? Right. Only you know exactly what caused you to give up your old life and become an adventurer. You're not even sure when your home became a prison, when the familiar became mundane, but your dreams of wandering have taken over your life. Whether you yearn for some faraway place or merely for the open road and the freedom to travel, you can no longer bear to stay in the same place. You simply went and never looked back. Become an adventurer and ride to your destiny. Alright. Alright, since we're going to do a little Twitch thing, and we want to make it interesting, normally I'd click allow me to quit without saving, but I don't want to save scum on Twitch. You just don't do that. You never save scum on Twitch. So, we're going to click realistic, no quitting without saving, so this is Iron Man mode. Tutorial. Now enter your name and distribute your attribute, skill, and weapon point. You click on various elements on the screen to learn how each one will affect your character. So, let's enter a name. How about something clever? How about Twitchy? How about Twitchy the Itchy? Yeah, so he twitches because he's very itchy, and he scratches those itches while he twitches. While broadcasting on Twitch. He's itching to broadcast on Twitch, but he's twitchy when he itches. Okay. So our intelligence is a bit low at 5, so let's put a couple points in there. Now let's distribute the points between charisma and agility. Now, here's another decision we gotta make. Are we going to do, what? Like, are we going to try to, go for, all melee? Or are we going to, like, what weapon will our guy main on? Will it be a sword and shield? Will it be a longsword, spears? Will we have ranged weapons? If so, what ranged weapons will it be? Will it be a bow, a crossbow, a throwing spear, throwing axes? Okay. While you guys decide that, I'm gonna... Alright, yeah, but that's good, but, when you're focusing on something, if you only have a limited number of slots for weapons you can carry, so, really, if you have one ranged weapon, unless you want to be, completely exposed, unless you're really good at, parrying, then, you, won't be able to melee very well, and you'll also be exposed to arrow fire if you, have more than one ranged weapon. Like, say, if you have a bow or a crossbow as well as throwing axes. Though what you could do is maybe use throwing axes as a... Because with this game, if you press X, you can change your mode for between ranged attacks and melee attacks. That is, if it's a ranged weapon like a throwing axe or a throwing spear. So you could use a throwing spear as a one-handed axe. Not throwing axe as a one-handed axe. Don't know how you could use a spear as an axe, but... Right. So... Are we going to be doing throwing or archery? Or will we not have... Okay, so we're going to have a crossbow and shield. Is that what we're going to do? Okay, so let's evenly put... Since our crossbow skill is pretty low, it's at 15, let's put all our points into here because we only have 15 weapon points. Right. So now, we're going to, since we're going to have a horse, and we have a ranged weapon, we're going to need to put some points into horse archery. That way, when we use ranged weapons on the horse, we'll have less penalty for damage and accuracy while moving on horseback. Now let's put a point into prisoner management. That way we can take prisoners. And now what others? We've got tracking is an important skill. So if you could put some points into that. Though writing is very important right here. So let's put some points. Let's put our points into writing. Now we got 1 point left. Oh, looting. Okay, sure. Let's do looting. Though our inventory is going to fill up quicker, but from the amount of loot we get. But still, we can next time we upgrade. We can next time we level up. We can upgrade our inventory management, which will give us 6 more inventory slots. Alright, so we're done with this part of creation. Alright, now we're going to change what our character physically looks like. So, we going to give this guy a beard? Or, how about, like, we could change, the way our face looks with these, sliders right here, like, how, wide the face is, how deep the face is, size of the eyeballs, how slanted they are. Okay, we're gonna have a beard. So, do you want a beard or a mustache? Because there's all kinds of facial hair in this game. Okay, so is it going to be a full beard, or is it going to be like a goatee or something? Could also braid our beards where it's kind of like a ponytail, because that's what the medieval men did. Especially Northern Europeans, they braided their beards. We can also make our character Asian or black, too. What kind of beard again? This kind of beard? Okay. This one. Right, so, we can also change this guy's race. He could be white, or he can also be Asian or black. So let me go through the different kinds of skin colors. We can also change our hair color too. We can make him blonde. We can make him a ginger. We can make him brown haired. And if we go to another skin, we can make him black haired too. Oh, the second skin. Hold on. This one. You talk about this one? Yeah, this one's a bit different. It's got a slightly tanner skin. Okay, so let's give him some brown hair. Yeah, we can make it black or we can make it brown. This one's dark brown. Oh. This one? Alright. We can change his hairstyle as well. So it can be long and unkempt, or it can be cut and unkempt. It can also be cut shorter. Sure, go ahead, invite as many people as you want. That would help me a lot. See the other hairstyles. This one's cut pretty short too. And we got another hairstyle right here. It's cut even shorter. And we also got this one. Got long hair as well as a braid at the very top. It's not technically not really a braid. It's kind of a ponytail, but at the top of the hair. Got a ponytail right here. And we got really long hair. And then we got kind of a Mongol type hair, ponytail right here. And then we got bald except for the very top with the ponytail protruding out of it. Kind of looks like a Tao without blue skin, if you ask me. And then we also got this. Got pretty bald at the top. And then we got these dangly things on the forehead, as well as the back of the hair. Okay. So let's start again. Okay, so there's lots of hairstyles. We got this. Okay, so I'm going to number these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, kind of looks like Friar Tuck, 15, 16, 17. Okay, let's go for 7. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, this one is this one that you talk about? Okay. There we go. We can also change the facial shape as well. So we can change the jaw width, chin size, face width, face ratio, Face depth. Okay, sure. You know what? I'm not even going to look at my character till I'm done with this pattern that you specified. So I'm going to be surprised when I look to the left. Okay. Interesting. So, what do you think? Do you look good? Kind of looks like a Skeletor a little bit around the jaw area. Cheeks, I mean. Right, so we are done with character creation. Okay. You hear about Calradia, a land torn between rival kingdoms battling each other for supremacy, a haven for knights and mercenaries, cutthroats and adventurers, all willing to risk their lives in pursuit of fortune, power, or glory. In this land, which holds great dangers and even greater opportunities, you believe that you may leave your past behind and start a new life. You feel that finally you hold the key of your destiny in your hands, free to choose as you will, and that whatever course you take, great adventures will await you. Drawn by the stories you hear about Calradia and its kingdom, you take a caravan to Praven in the Kingdom of Swadia. Okay, so the Kingdom of Swadia is kind of like a... It's kind of like a Britain, kind of like a medieval England. Then you got the Vazers, which is kind of like a Eastern European, think medieval Poland. And then you got Tulga and the Kyrgyz Khanate. Imagine the Mongols, or the Huns. And then you got Sargoth in the Kingdom of the Nords. Wait, you live in a city called Swadia? There's a city called Swadia? Hold on, let me... Oh. Okay. Anyways, then you got Sargoth in the Kingdom of the Nords. And the Nords, imagine Scandinavians. Like, way up North Europeans. You got the Viking type things. Yeah, Swadia is kind of like medieval England. Then you got the Rhodoks. I like to imagine them kind of like either the French or the Italians, medieval Italians. And then you got the Saranid Sultanate, which is medieval Arabs. So imagine the Ottomans or the Persians. Actually, no, not the Persians, since the Persians were destroyed before the medieval times came. But yeah, imagine like either the Turks or the Egyptians of the medieval age. Okay, so we will go to Sargoth then. You took passage with a trading longship, carrying gerfalcons from the furthest reaches of the north to be bartered for linen and wool. It sailed early in the season, but the master reckoned that the risks of drifting ice and later winter storms could be justified by arriving ahead of the sea raiders, who by April would be sailing forth from their island lairs to ravage Calradia's coasts. It was some relief when your ship came in sight of the delta of the Vil and Bullock rivers. and a short while later rode past tidal flats and coastal marshes to the city of Sargoth, home to the Sea Raiders' distant kinsmen, the Nordic lords, who a few generations ago had carved themselves a kingdom in this rich but troubled land. Alright, we about got we just got a minute before before we stop streaming, but let's continue. You are exhausted by the time you find the inn in Sargoth and fall asleep quickly. However, you awake before dawn and are eager to explore your surroundings. You venture out onto the streets, which are still deserted. All of a sudden, you hear the sound that stands the hairs on your neck on end, the rasp of a blade sliding from its scabbard. Right, so now we fight. Okay. Oh, got hit. Missed. Crossbow will take too long to load. Okay. Ooh. Got him. Are you all right? Well, I guess you are alive, at any rate. I'm not sure that we can stay the same for the other fellow. That's one less thief to trouble our streets at night. Although heaven knows he won't be the last. Anyway, maybe you can help me with something. Let's talk more from inside. Out here, we don't know who's listening. Yeah, maybe I have really good hearing. Right, so, I'm gonna talk to him real quick, and once we're out and onto the overworld, I'm going to save, and we're going to move on to the next game. Now, let me explain my proposition. We've always had brigands in the hills, driven to banditry by war, debt, or love of violence. Recently, however, they've been getting bolder, leaving their camps in the wild and venturing into town, looking for unwary prey. The Watch Commander tells us it's because of all the fighting on the frontiers. Fewer men to keep an eye on the streets. But I'm not sure what to make of that. It seems to me that the most logical explanation is that these bandits have an ally inside the walls, who help them enter unnoticed and helps them identify particularly tempting targets. Last week, you see, they took my brother. I don't know what my brother was thinking, a lad from the prominent house out alone after dark in times like these. Well, I suppose you were too, but you're a stranger here, and didn't know how bad things had become. He had no such excuse. But he's family, so what can you do? If you don't protect your kin, then people will start thinking that you can't protect your investments either. And I can't have that. No doubt the gang will soon send word about a ransom, but I don't care to pay it. So here's my proposition. You look like you've had a bit of experience with a blade, and more importantly, you must have a bit of fire in your belly, or you wouldn't be coming to Calradia to seek your fortune. So, here's what I'm asking you to do. Gather a small party, track down these bandits to their lair, teach them a lesson they won't forget, and get my brother back safe. In return, you will earn my lasting gratitude and a bit of silver. What do you say? I am interested. You won't be able to do this by yourself, though. If you try and take on the whole gang single-handedly, the hunter will become the hunted. I'll warrant. You'll be forced You will first want to round up a group of volunteers. There's always a few lads in the villages around here looking for a bit of work that's more interesting than tilling the soil or hauling water. They'll follow you if you pay, so take this purse of 100 dinars. Consider it an advance for your reward. Go around to the village and use the money to hire some help. I'll reckon that you'll need at least 5 men to take on these bandits. That's very good, sir. I'll go collect some men from around the villages. Good. You can find me again in the tavern here in Sargoth after you've got your group together. Then we will speak about what we do next. So now we leave, and thank you for watching. We are going to continue playing Mountain Blade tomorrow, but for now we must proceed to our schedule. Thank you for watching.